has so much to offer. There's shops everywhere. I've never seen a higher density of shops. And the restaurant here is a restaurant de Baoba.
Caraca, eles estão preocupados com shopping, né? Eles estão preocupados com mercadinho. É por isso que eles gostam bastante de comprar. E aí, pessoal, como é que vocês estão? Tá a começar mais um vídeo legalzão. E no vídeo de hoje nós vamos ver aqui gringos conhecendo Florianópolis. Eu acho que, gente, Florianópolis é um dos lugares mais bonitos assim do Brasil, que lembra um pouco a Europa, tanto que os gringos falam isso, que Florianópolis, Balneario, Blumenau lembram um pouco a Europa, e tem várias outras cidades lá no sul do Brasil que lembram bastante a Europa. Então, se gostarem desse vídeo, já sabem, deixa o like, se inscrevam no canal, ativem o sino das notificações para receber todos os nossos próximos vídeos e fazer parte dessa incrível família. Vamos a isso.
What's up, my boys, and welcome to the Europe of Brazil. Today we are in Floripa, which is on the magical island, it's called.
We have spent the last 3 weeks in the state of Santa Catarina, here in the southern part of Brazil, and most people wouldn't think that you will find a mini version of Europe here, but that is reality.
We are staying at the WK Design Hotel, which is located in Florianopolis, which is the capital of...
Meu Deus! Caraca, vocês viram onde que tá esse hotel, cara? Deve ser caro pra caramba esse hotel, sério mesmo, porque essa vista privilegiada que eles têm aí não saiu barato não, vamos ver.
Of the state. It's absolutely stunning.
For some reason they gave us 3 beds, so when me and Amelie were fighting...
We were gonna fight on this trip, huh?
Also, it's Amelie who's messy.
This is not even my stuff, Jon. This is your suitcase. Every single thing except... So don't.
We got a crazy...
Iam começar uma madeira aí já.
Easy deal on this hotel. Yesterday, on the website of the hotel, the price was 2,500 reais for one night, which is 400 euros.
Aí, ó, eu falei que esse hotel aí não era barato não. 2.500 reais por uma noite. 2.500 reais por uma noite. Caraca, mano.
We got 2 nights for $230.
Ah, então eles pegaram numa promoção, metade do preço, né?
One of the first things that we want to address is that the whole...
Mas mesmo assim, metade de 2.500 reais ainda é muito, mano.
The state of Santa Catarina, I keep saying Santa Catarina is overwhelmingly safe. I mean, this is nothing like Rio, and I think there is a general idea or misconception that it's all of Brazil that is unsafe, but this state here, not so much actually.
You still find homeless people and poor people.
Not very much though.
There's some behind us right now.
Oh yeah, that's true actually.
Ele tentando falar que não tem tanta gente, tantos moradores de rua. A moça disse, não é bem assim, tem um bocado. O cara tentando refutar, e ela disse, olha para tu atrás. Ele olhou e viu que realmente tem alguns moradores de rua aí. Mas em questão de segurança, realmente não se compara a Rio de Janeiro, Floripa. Com certeza é um pouco mais seguro em relação ao Rio de Janeiro, como ele estava falando aí. Cara, esse lugar é bonito, mano.
So while we head into the very center of Florianopolis, let's talk about the strong Portuguese influence in this area. With a short 15-minute drive from our hotel, you'll find yourself in Santo Antônio de Lisboa. It's like entering a mini Portugal with architecture originating from various places around Portugal. Having lived in Portugal for more than 3 years, it was interesting to see this little version of what we call home. The town of Santo Antônio de Lisboa is
tem lugar chamado Lisboa, mano.
known for its strong story and culture due to immigration in the 19th century.
Açores.
And if you don't know the Azores, it's an incredibly beautiful archipelago in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. A place we certainly recommend visiting.
We found a pastel de nata in Brazil.
Most of our existing followers know that we live in Portugal, and this is the best pastry snack in the world.
We actually made a video in Portugal rating the best Portuguese pastéis de natas.
Cara, fale o preço. Eu só tô preocupado com o preço, porque, cara, essa decoraçãozinha aí desse pastel de nata também não saiu caro. Vamos ver.
And I will say this does not really look like those, but
Quer dizer,
it
também não saiu barato, né?
smells like those, and it has substance, you
it
know.
has the substance.
Yeah.
Should we do like Lady and the Vagabond?
This does
Cinnamon.
not taste like a real
Preço,
pastel de
cara.
nata.
Oh, well, you like it. You like
It's
it.
really good.
With its beautiful
Agora, por
location,
que compraram só um, cara? Tinham que comprar dois.
sandy beach, and view to all of Florianopolis, people come here to take advantage of the food. We had dinner here several times with excellent Portuguese food, just like back home. I have to say that this place here is so charming, and it's so strange that you find this here on this
On the other end of the world.
random island outside Florianopolis, which most people haven't heard of.
So in the old center of the town, which is 20 minutes away from our hotel, you find the public market, Mercado de Pública. And And this is where you find heaps of goods, locally made, also a lot of cheap stuff that is imported from like a region that makes fake stuff.
This country is so big, and this is something we've noticed generally, like they have their own kind of China here.
A lot of the buildings you can definitely tell are made by Europeans because it looks Portuguese, it looks like a southern colonial architecture. There's so many different inputs here, and it's hectic and it's bustling. I really like it.
To no surprise, Amelia, she is ecstatic about the market here.
I mean,
I'm a little bit.
I don't really want to buy anything though.
No, but
yes,
it's more
the
like
hand goods are cool.
the Leben, the life here that is interesting. You see, like,
It's so dynamic.
Caraca, se soubessem que o Brasil tem influência de vários países, cara, nem ficariam desse jeito, porque algumas referências são de alguns países que não seja Portugal, porque muitas das vezes já muito da cultura brasileira pode ter vindo de Portugal, mas também tem muitas outras coisas que vêm de outros países do mundo, mano.
And it's
dynamic.
I feel like I would never have expected an area like this in Floripa, because when in the area we live, it's very like the women are dressed up like they're going to parties, and it's very rich and posh. And here you get the real life, you know, you get the...
Mas também o lugar que vocês foram se hospedar, 2.500 reais, cara. Queria que encontrassem pessoas de que jeito, mano. Com certeza vão encontrar pessoas mais chiques, mais bem vestidas, com mais poder aquisitivo, né? Agora, o lugar onde vocês vão ver a realidade da maior parte dos brasileiros são esses aqui. Mercadão, feiras, coisas do tipo.
charm.
I mean, there is 1.1 million people living in Florianopolis in the metropolitan area, so it is a fairly big city. So yeah, you can't film all the original Gucci stuff and Chanel.
This is the part.
Cara, acontece o mesmo aqui em Belo Horizonte, cara. Quando você entra em alguns shoppings populares assim, é proibido de filmar, mano. É proibido de filmar alguns shoppings populares, mas Mercadão é normal de filmar. Tanto aqui em Belo Horizonte, tanto em São Paulo, tanto em vários lugares que eu passei. Mercadão é super de boa filmar. O que não é de boa é filmar os shoppings populares, porque até ela falou, tem uns AirPods fakes, como ela falou aí, meu Deus. Todo mundo sabe, né, que nesses lugares tem, não precisa falar.
Of the market that I live for, because this area in the market sells all the fresh ingredients, and this area is very, very famous for their oysters and the shrimps. Here you get some of the best I've had. It's delicious. So generally we were pleasantly surprised with the large selection of quirky markets. It all reminded us much of the originality and uniqueness you find many places around, especially Southern Europe. There is no doubt that shopping here is amazing. You really do find some great stuff, and at very reasonable prices.
Here they thrive on purchase tourism, which is basically tourists coming here to buy stuff And I can tell you that me and Amelia and Giovanni and Andrea are victims of that. We bought lambskin at a fraction of what it usually is. We bought crystals here. We checked in Denmark what these crystals are priced at. Like 7-10 times more.
The main thing that we bought, especially Jon, has been clothing, because they actually have a lot of high quality clothes for a very decent price. At least if you come from a European country with more money.
This in Europe, 100 euros probably. 70 to 100 euros. Here, 25. And this is considered high-end here. So if you want to save money, I think you can actually make it worthwhile to take a cheap flight from Europe to here and then just shop till you drop. Fill 3 suitcases and you won't have to think about your wardrobe for the next 3 years. Like seriously. I literally...
Não, isso é mais pelo poder aquisitivo que eles têm lá na Europa, cara. E, quer dizer, recebem um salário bem decente e 70 euros para eles numa roupa deve ser super normal.
We bought an entire wardrobe with around 70 individual pieces of quality clothing.
Caraca.
The point I'm trying to make here is that we usually don't shop when we travel. But here, we're drawn to the malls.
A moça saiu com o shopping inteiro, mano. Caraca.
I hate malls with a passion. You guys know that. But when they have the things you want, you have to go. One thing I find absolutely hilarious is that Florianopolis is one of the most developed cities in all of Brazil, and yet their electrical wiring looks like something from Vietnam. They also have it in Blumenau, where we...
Isso é mais por causa dos fios de internet, cara. Eu acho que no Brasil inteiro é desse jeito. Tipo, os postes parecem meio poluídos por causa do tanto de fios de internet que tem nos postes. Eu acho que se fosse só os fios de eletricidade não ia parecer tão poluído assim os postes.
We spent some time where it's only Germans. You'd think that the Germans, you know, handcraft specialists, engineers by nature. Speaking of Germans, let's take a look at how dominant they are in this region of Brazil.
So while most people think that the only European settlement here in Brazil comes from Portugal, there are actually a lot of other cultures that settled here during the 19th centuries. And the Germans were some of the most common immigrants to immigrate here to Brazil.
From our base in Florianopolis, we drove 2 hours.
Alemanha, Itália, Holanda, Espanha também bocado, vários outros países, mano.
North to the city of Blumenau, a city with 360,000 people, most of which of German descent. We checked into the wonderful Villa Duval boutique hotel, from where we dived into the German origins of this otherwise lush and tropical environment. It was quite strange to walk around in what reminded us of what we would normally see with just a short drive from our home country of Denmark to Germany south of the border. A fun fact is that you will find the world's second largest Oktoberfest here in Blumenau, with over 1 million tourists visiting. It's basically a one-to-one version of the real Oktoberfest in Munich, although of course slightly smaller.
Blumenau even has a German village with original German architecture and fake snow, something the Brazilians apparently love to see. A couple of days in Blumenau was more than enough for us to get a grasp of the city and the surrounding area. It's not a must-visit place, but the hotel alone was enough to make us want to come back. That breakfast buffet was so good that we were okay with getting fat. What we loved the most about our visit in this area was taking our car on a ride through the hilly tropical jungle that starts right behind the town of Poma Road. I don't think it's an attraction people come to see, but we just took the car and drove with no destination.
Cara, o interior do Brasil também é uma coisa incrível, mano. Meu Deus do céu, cara. O interior, tipo, morar no campo. A gente chama de campo, né? Morar no campo. Eu acho que aqui no Brasil é o quê? Tipo, fazenda? É, fazenda. Morar meio que na fazenda, assim, é incrível, cara. A natureza realmente...
It was surreal to drive in the tropical nature and see German house after German house, even German churches and German street names. We were in love with this place. It's so serene and beautiful and away from the hustle and bustle of modern civilization. In other words, It's the ultimate getaway that reminded us of a warmer version of Urubici. I swear to God, I have never been anywhere on this planet where they have more shops than here in Santa Catarina, the Europe of Brazil. It is.
Eu acho que todo lugar do Brasil tem muitos desses mercadinhos assim de rua, né?
Simply incredible. And what I really like about it is that they're all small individual shops. It's not affected by the streamlined corporatism, you know, where you see only Starbucks, Burger King and all that. I really enjoy finding these little unique things that one person spent some time making, you know. This is not made in China. What did you buy?
This is not made in China. Se soubessem que quase todos os materiais, até, quer dizer, todos os produtos, até de grandes marcas, Chanel, Gucci, sei lá o que, a maior parte dos produtos deles são chineses que produzem.
Present.
Did you buy the...
Our friend's new little baby. This moment right here is one of my favorite moments in Brazil because it's coconut time. And the coconuts here are one of my favorite things. They're so delicious. They're so fresh. They're not too sweet, but they still have a lot of flavor. And then sitting by this very windy bay, it's Brazil. I like it. And while we sit here and enjoy a coconut, we should talk about another city.
Cara, a cor d'água lá de Florianopolis é desse jeito ou é por causa da edição que eles fizeram no vídeo?
Not far from Florianopolis that is worth visiting. It's called Balneario Camboriu.
And this is a mini version of Rio de Janeiro.
It totally is, and it's actually really cute. They have like
they have like a lot of shops.
It's your stuff, you.
It's both of
I
us.
only got 2 things, and you got the rest of all these bags.
Irrelevant. We were actually thinking about staying here for a night, but I think we'll save it for the next time we come back.
Yeah,
but this,
eu acho que os dois gostam bastante de comprar coisas, mano.
But
it's very European, the feel here. And it's actually founded by an Açorian guy also, so we're still in the Europe of Brazil.
Some people call it the Dubai of Brazil because of the high-rise landscape. We prefer to call it Mini Rio. You got long sandy beaches, street vendors, tons of restaurants and bars, and shopping around the corner as if you were in Ipanema.
Even though we call this...
Eu vi alguém falando em vídeo que Balneário é o Rio de Janeiro que deu certo. Tipo, é o Rio que deu certo.
State of Santa Catarina, the Europe of Brazil, it's important to remember that we are still in Brazil. And that reality was cemented with the best moqueca we had come across after almost 40 days of traveling Brazil. So this city that we are in, we barely knew the existence of it, and we drove past and was like, this looks like
Caraca, eles trazem a moqueca na mesa fervendo, mano.
Ghost town, but we were still intrigued. We kind of wanted to see what it is, and this place is fantastic.
It has so much to offer. There's shops everywhere. I've never seen a higher density of shops, and the restaurant here is a restaurant de Baoba.
Caraca, eles estão preocupados com o shopping, né? Eles estão preocupados com o mercadinho. É por isso que eles gostam bastante de comprar. Eles estão muito preocupados com o mercadinho. Por isso que qualquer lugar em que ele ver alguma coisa vai querer comprar.
We were actually recommended this by the owner of Culinary, a beautiful little shop in the city where I did buy a very nice t-shirt, actually a shirt.
By the way, guys, the food here is outstanding.
Best moqueca so far.
Back in Florianopolis, it was time for more food. Now it was time to check out Eastern Europe at the restaurant of Matryoshka.
Matryoshka, that's the mother.
Mother?
The matriarcha of the house.
In our house, you know, in our house.
Well, you're like the dictator. So this is basically tap water in Russia, right? Can I just say that when we went on the plane from Lisbon to Portugal to Brazil, I didn't expect to eat Russian.
We are here at the restaurant where it's 2 partners. One is all Brazilian, Eddie.
100% Brazilian.
And in the kitchen, it's half Moldavian
And Russian.
and half Russian. Oh my god, this is delicious.
You know, I hate soup normally, but I would go out with this one. This one looks like an ear.
Yeah, it does.
Ear?
Ears.
Bear?
Bear.
Bear ear.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Is this for the camera or is this
No.
are you genuinely
No,
loving
no,
it?
no. This is insane.
And then with the Russian tea. Are you actually pregnant?
I look like I'm 6 months in.
9.
What do your faces look like? Because we haven't seen.
Oh, that would be a problem. Oh, that's the
There you
mascara.
go. It's really.
Oh, the mascarados.
There you go.
One.
Are you doing this because you want Mexican food?
Yes.
Não, os hotéis que eles ficam também tem razão de ser 2.500 reais, mano.
It's actually our last day in Brazil.
Yeah, I love it here, and it's such a big country, like the whole continent of South America. Whoa! Whoa!
Até chovendo fica bonito nesse hotel, mano. Meu Deus.
The rain, how fast it's coming over the
Olha
ocean.
isso.
Can you see?
So yeah,
Ter dinheiro é outra história, mano.
our time in Brazil was coming to an end. We are leaving the Europe of Brazil for the actual Europe of Europe. And what better way to end our Brazilian trip at a restaurant that has absolutely nothing to do with anything we talked about in this video. I think my head is bigger than the average Mexican.
You know, we are really suckers for Mexican food, right? So when we realized that they had a really good rated Mexican restaurant, we were like, it's a no-brainer. We are going to Mexico next year, and one of the things I'm most excited about there is the food. It's so good.
Arriba, abajo y para adentro. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Caraca. Que isso, mano?
It's like midnight in Paris, Jon.
I think it's like bedtime. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, it really is.
We have to end this video because we are packing our stuff and flying to...
Lisboa. I'm so excited actually. I've been loving Brazil, but it's time to go home.
Let us know your thoughts in Europe.
Voltar para a Europa depois de ter conhecido o Brasil. Eu acho que não foi tão diferente assim da Europa, alguns lugares que eles visitaram, né? Tem outros lugares. Eu acho que a gente já viu o vídeo deles no Rio de Janeiro. Eu acho que eles também gostaram bastante do Rio de Janeiro. Mas eu acho que eles se familiarizaram mais com essas cidades em si que são semelhantes já à Europa, né? Tanto que eles compraram muita coisa no Brasil, muita roupa principalmente no Brasil, como ele disse, por ser um pouco mais barato em relação às roupas que ele compra lá na Europa. E foi um vídeo legal, um vídeo muito divertido aqui. Espero que vocês tenham gostado do vídeo também. Não se esqueçam de deixar o like, se inscrever no canal, ativar o sininho das notificações para receber todos os nossos próximos vídeos e fazer parte dessa incrível família. Até o próximo vídeo. Fui!